Hello and welcome to the channel. Thanks for dropping by. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button before you leave. I would greatly appreciate it. Today I've got some exciting news for those who are interested in the potential changes to the cannabis industry. Recently, President Donald Trump has revealed that his administration is actively reviewing whether to reclassify marijuana as a less dangerous drug under federal law. This potential change could mark one of the most significant shifts in U.S. drug policy in decades, with far-reaching effects on medical research, the cannabis industry, and the relationship between state and federal laws. While marijuana legalization remains a divisive political topic, Trump's comments show the issue is gaining traction at the highest levels of government. Right now, marijuana is listed as a Schedule I substance under the Controlled Substances Act, in the same category as heroin, LSD, and ecstasy. Schedule I drugs are considered to have a high potential for abuse and no accepted medical use, making them subject to the strictest regulations. This classification has been heavily criticized by scientists, doctors, and lawmakers because it severely limits research and forces cannabis businesses to navigate complicated and costly legal hurdles. Speaking recently, President Trump acknowledged that the marijuana issue is very complicated, but confirmed his administration is looking into reclassification and would make a decision in the coming weeks. This statement follows reports that Trump has discussed the matter with industry leaders and political advisors. His comments come amid growing public support for marijuana reform. Polls show that more than 2/3 of Americans now favor legalizing cannabis for recreational use, and an even greater majority supports medical marijuana. Before Trump took office, former President Joe Biden's Justice Department proposed moving marijuana to Schedule III alongside substances like ketamine and anabolic steroids. Schedule III drugs are considered to have moderate to low potential for physical or psychological dependence and recognized medical uses. That proposal entered a formal rulemaking process, which includes public comments, agency review, and final approval by the Drug Enforcement Administration. Trump's decision will determine whether his administration continues, alters, or halts that process. Reclassification would make it far easier for researchers to obtain and study cannabis, potentially leading to new medical treatments and better understanding of its benefits and risks. Currently, cannabis companies operating legally under state law cannot claim most federal tax deductions because of marijuana's Schedule I status. Moving it to Schedule III could open the door for standard tax write-offs, easing financial strain on the industry. Even with reclassification, marijuana would remain illegal for recreational use under federal law. However, the shift would reduce the legal tension between federal authorities and the 38 states, plus Washington, D.C., that have legalized marijuana in some form. Trump's willingness to explore reform aligns him, at least on this specific issue, with former Vice President Kamala Harris and many Democrats, signaling a rare bipartisan overlap. Political analysts suggest the move could broaden Trump's appeal among younger voters and those in swing states where marijuana legalization is popular. The Department of Justice and Department of Health and Human Services will play critical roles in reviewing evidence and recommendations before any change becomes law. The process could still take months, and even if marijuana is rescheduled, broader legalization would require separate congressional action. Critics warn that reclassification without broader policy reform could primarily benefit large corporate cannabis interests, while leaving smaller businesses and communities disproportionately impacted by past marijuana convictions at a disadvantage. Supporters argue that any forward movement is a win for science, medicine, and economic opportunity. Finally, whether this is a cautious first step toward federal legalization or a limited policy shift remains to be seen. But one thing is clear: marijuana's place in U.S. law and politics is changing, and the Trump administration's upcoming decision could reshape the nation's cannabis landscape for years to come. We will keep you updated on this developing story. I hope this information was helpful to you in some way. And as usual, thank you for visiting Hello Today. Please like, share, and subscribe to